UFC 319 is over. Here's my experience.
I see my haters proud of me now. When I'm around, it's all smiles. I took over my whole town.
To kick this thing off, I'll give this card a solid 9.5 out of 10. Shout out to Morales for winning the Ultimate Fighter. Karine Silva won an absolute robbery. Following that fight, we had a very, very big surprise to me. We had Jakar Klaus outstriking Edson Barbosa on the feet for the most part, which was a very big shocker to me. I think Edson Barbosa should be leaning towards retirement at this point. He's not really fighting for too much more than a paycheck at this point if he's losing the likes of Jakar Klaus, in my opinion. And that's no disrespect to Jakar Klaus, but Edson Barbosa used to compete for titles, and now he's losing on the early prelims. So hopefully Edson gets something figured out. So then we had Alexander Hernandez taking on Chase Hooper. Alexander Hernandez was able to catch him with a right cross and finish him in the very first round with ground and pound after the right cross. Fantastic performance from the Great Ape. What do you guys want to see him get next? Lupe Godinez looked very good against the former champion and Jessica Andrade, and I think Andrade is another one of those fighters where I think she should probably be leaning towards retirement at this point in her career. She has the highest highs and it's starting to get a little bit lower on the lows. But what do you guys think? Following that fight, we have Michelle Olajejek taking on Mr. Jira Mirshar III, and I think this fight is another one of those things to where GM3 might be looking towards retirement. He's on a 3-fight skid, getting finished in 2 out of those 3, while Olajejek is now on a knockout streak after having back-to-back knockouts, with this one coming after his knockout against Hector Dumas. Michelle Olajejek is a very, very exciting fighter no matter which way it goes. In the prelim main event of the night, we have Basinger Sakara taking on Mr. Eric Nolan, the former Marine. And I'm very glad that they're going to keep Eric Nolan around, because after that performance, up a weight class on 4 days' notice, I think he deserves a shot. And I think he might give some real welterweights some problems, because he was almost able to get Serge Sakayev out of there at the end of the first round, absolutely rocking him. But Serge Sakayev was able to survive their early storm and get the second round submission, which I'm very happy that he did. I'm very happy we got to see him in a compromised spot, to see that he's just not a front runner, he's an actual fighter. So Serge Sakayev is somebody we should keep our eyes on going forward. Opening up the main card, we had Mr. Tim Elliott taking on Kai Asakura in the biggest upset of the night. Tim Elliott is able to lock in the guillotine in the second round after frustrating Kai Asakura the first 2 rounds. It just looked like Kai Asakura getting a hand on Tim Elliott, the way he was moving, the way he was feigning his strikes. And then whenever Tim Elliott chose to throw strikes with some power, it was connecting with Kai Asakura every single time. Tim Elliott, after a 1.5-year layoff, is able to knock out one of the highest hype trains in the UFC after coming into the UFC, getting a title shot right off the back. And now he just fell to Tim Elliott. What is next with Kai Asakura? I have no idea, but I don't know. I don't know what they do with Kai after that one. Following that fight, we had Michael Venom Page taking on Jared Cannonier. Michael Venom Page just looked like he was way faster than Jared Cannonier. Every time Cannonier looked like he tried to throw something, throw a combination out there, MVP would be looking at the back of his head. He'd be like, where did he just go? MVP was able to get in and get out, throw multiple strikes, knock him down multiple times, even though I think the second one was more of a off-balance type of thing. But the first one was a clean knockdown. Right hand dropped him, sat him down. But MVP is a very, very exciting fighter. That was at 185 pounds. I don't know if he still goes back down to welterweight. Either division is fun matchups in both, and I cannot wait to see what the UFC decides to do with MVP next. Following that fight, we had Mr. Carlos Prates taking on Jeff Neal. Another huge, not very huge surprise, but the way the knockout was delivered, Carlos Prates spinning elbow attack right off the temple of Jeff Neal, out like a light. Didn't know what happened to him. Carlos Prates is very, very exciting, and he said he will be fighting in Rio whenever that is. I'll put it up on the screen, and I cannot wait to see who he gets next. MVP said he's willing to do it. Is that going to be the fight? That fight will be amazingly stand-up stylistically, but I don't think that's the fight going to get made. I don't know why I feel like that. I just don't think the UFC is going to waste to their bigger upcoming stars. I know that's kind of weird, but in my head, I don't think it's going to happen. But if it does happen, that fight will be phenomenal. Carlos Prates gets the first round knockout over Jeff Neal in the dying seconds of the first round. Who do you guys want to see Carlos Prates take on in Brazil? Let me know. In the co-main event of the night, we had Lerone Murphy taking on UFC debutant Aaron Pico, and Lerone Murphy showed that it is levels to this thing. The UFC is levels above every other organization, and Aaron Pico ran into a spinning elbow also that sat him out cold. Lerone Murphy's not known as a finisher, but when he does finish people, they tend to not move after they got hit. That thing looked worse than that Amir Khani knockout that he had a couple of years ago. I hope Aaron Pico is going to be okay. Concussion for sure, so he's probably out for at least 6 months. So Aaron Pico, hopefully he comes back. Probably not this year, probably early 26. Hopefully, if he does come back this year, that'd be phenomenal. But besides the point, Mr. Lerone Murphy, I think he punched himself or elbowed himself into the title contention because Alexander Volkanovski is calling for a match with him in December, and I think that fight will be absolutely phenomenal if that is booked. What do you guys think? Do y'all think he deserves the title shot, or do y'all still lean towards Movsar Evloev? Let me know. In the main event of the night, we have Mr. Dricus du Plessis taking on Khamzat Chimaev. And if you watch this, you watch the entire fight. 5 rounds of absolute pure dominance from Khamzat Chimaev. Bell to bell, ass kicking. I mean, if people call it boring all you want, but it's on DDP to try to get out of that very compromised situation he was in. If Khamzat Chimaev can take somebody down and beat them up for 25 minutes, why in the world would he not do that? That defeats the purpose of what he's trying to do. He's trying to hit this man and not get hit in return. The easiest way to do that is to take the man down and punch him in the face. Easiest way you can win a world title. And Khamzat Chimaev did it for 24, 23 minutes, something crazy. 500 strikes to 50 strikes. Absolutely absurd. Khamzat Chimaev is the world champion right now. Who do you guys think he gets in his first title defense? We got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez rolling around. We got Caio Borralho versus Nasruddin Imavov the next time up. That's probably the true #1 contenders fight. And we also got possibly RDR floating around there too. Whatever it is, the middleweight division should be fun to watch for the next couple of years with Khamzat Chimaev at the lead. What do you guys think about UFC 319 as a whole? What was your biggest surprise of the night? What was your biggest fun, favorite moment of the night? Let me know down below in the comments. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, just want to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bigger people, peace.